Atlanta, live from K.L.P Studios. Ever wonder what went down behind the scenes of our top stories?
Say what?
Then tune into What Had Happened Was, the only radio station that takes you straight to the source. From coast to coast, tune in now as we dive deep into the stories, the drama, and the moments that shape the culture with
The Swanky One, new K.L.P.
and
With your girl, Evelyn Letitia.
live, Swanky 93.3 and the Heat 94.6 radio stations, or wherever you get your podcasts from.
Hallelujah. Last look, lady.
Quiet on set.
Quiet on
Camera
set.
speed.
Camera is speeding.
Sound speed.
Sound is speeding. So when I was filming, I was like, camera speed, audio speed. It was like, what? I'm like, oh, you guys don't know what that means? I'm like, y'all ain't true to the film industry if you don't know what that
Red
means.
flags.
Yeah.
It's about to be a long ass day.
I said striking. They're like, what are you striking? You about to hit something? Lights.
It's about to be a long day, child.
Jesus, people don't know.
Hold on,
What's that?
one of the cameras? Go back. Is it this one? It might be that one.
What's that?
This is right in my face. I need to.
No, that's probably yours. That's yours.
No, this one's fine. But the
Yeah.
other angle, this camera. Which camera is this?
Oh, that's camera 4.
Okay,
That's this.
Because I don't want that blocking my face. Let me
Yeah.
just sit up some. Because you see what's
Yeah, nah, I see it.
Okay.
You ready?
Yeah.
All right. Let's do it. Hey.
You already know what
Y'all
time
know
it
what
is.
time it is.
Ah! What's up? What's up?
Girl E, she back.
Yeah.
Hey.
You know what it is.
You know what it is.
If you forgot what the name of the show is,
What had happened was,
that's all you gotta do. Hey.
what had happened
Yeah. Come on.
was,
With your girl EVE, Evelyn Letitia. And my homeboy Kennedy Lucas Patterson.
Touchdown to Rick Ross.
Woo!
Hey.
Y'all know what it is. Come on, give it to us.
what had happened was.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. He good. I ain't even got to touch the buttons no more. That's it. That's all her. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to another exciting podcast.
Welcome.
This is the What Had Happened Was podcast. I'm one of your hosts, the graciousness. Woke up. I'll give y'all a little behind the scenes. Woke up, jetted to the barbershop. Shout out to my guy Byron. Got my little
Y'all see
haircut
that fresh
done.
cut?
Fresh cut, looking good. Then I came here in the studio to perform yet another exciting podcast. K.L.P Kennedy Lucas here in the building.
What had happened was.
And ladies and gentlemen, to my right,
Yes.
the talented,
Uh-huh.
the wonderful athlete, singer, artist, actress, music producer. Am I missing something? I think you got more titles.
EVE come through in the Maserati.
Hey, my girl Evelyn is here in the building, ladies and gentlemen.
Shout out to us, man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're here.
We here. Dear guy. We here.
So you guys know how we do.
Yeah.
We like to check in. E, I've been watching your stories and your posts between working on this project, Aggie Pride. We'll get to that in 2 seconds. But you also started your flag football. And you got a lot of things going on as an athlete and a working athlete and an actress.
Yeah.
But how you been? What's
I've
going
been good. Like I said, me and my gym partner, we've been working out, lifting weights.
Hey.
And Muay Thai is still going good. Oh, yeah. Don't come for me if I don't send for you. Once I say I feel threatened, back the hell up. Okay?
Yeah.
Okay. But no, I'm playing flag football. I think this is week 6 for us, maybe. We're currently tied for second place with 3 other teams. We're 3 and 4. We're 3 and 1. My mind was computing.
Yeah.
We're 3 and 1, and the other team that's number 1, they're 4 and 0. So, in the first game we lost. It was the very first game in the opening of the season.
Yeah.
And it's because several of our starters could not show. So we had to scramble in some of the position that people weren't used to. And some of our people had to play both sides of the ball.
Yeah.
So it was some getting used to. And we held our own with that particular team. And then they just ended up scoring 6 points with 2 minutes left on the clock, and we just ran out of time. So it came down to, we lost 6-0, so we lost that first one. But the last week, oh my God.
Yeah.
Again, 2 of our starters on offense and 1 of our starters on defense, and offense was inclusive of our QB1.
Yeah.
Could not make the game. So, like, I played 3 different positions. I play mostly center, and then quarterback, and also receiver. So, with them being gone, one of our new guys, Hank, shout out to Big Hank.
Hey.
Boy, Hank is literally a tank. And I'm not saying that if you ever come to one of our games, Hank got to be like 6'4", maybe. He looks like he's a good 275, maybe 300, but he is so agile on his feet. Hank be moving. Right, and so he had said before that he plays several positions. Like, we have him on the O line a lot of the time. Yeah. But we was like, you want to run some quarterback tonight? Because we have another QB, but we offered Hank to have some of those. He's like, yeah, we'll throw some. So he was throwing some deep balls that our receivers were getting, and then the way that the rules are set up, like every third play has to either go to a girl or a girl has to quarterback. So I was rotating in, and so I got us on the board the first points. I threw a touchdown pass, got us on the board for 9 points, because girls, our points count more than the guys. So whether you're a girl that catches the ball in the end zone or you throw a pass and it's a touchdown, you get the 9 points. So that put us on the board because we was down 21-9 at one point. No, 20-9. And then we started catching back up, and then I also threw a 2-point conversion that put us up 1 near the end of the game. So it was 21-20, and we held them because they had the ball last on offense, and we held them, and they were at the goal line where they could have scored so many times, which the game should have been over. Right. Like, we would ask the ref on the side, like, how much time left? He'd be like, 6 minutes, right? They snapped the ball. Yeah. At least 15 seconds. I know he said 6 seconds was left. At least 15 seconds don't go off the clock. And it was how much time left? 4 seconds. You was a darn lie.
You want to see y'all play more.
You was a lie. I remember at the end of the game, when we finally stopped them again, after he had said there was 4 seconds left, and because we stopped them on the field, the clock didn't stop. Right. So we was like, the time gotta be out now. And he was like, that's game. Because I was like, God darn. I looked over here, I said, you must be morning long. Just going hours and hours.
Hours. Oh, I like that. I like that wordplay.
We pulled together because, baby, the clock was literally not on our side. Wow. Like, how we 6 seconds left and 15 seconds just went off the clock and they got the ball back. Like,
you want to see you play more.
Oh, Lord. But we pulled it out. It was a team effort.
Team effort. I love it.
And then when I don't have something to throw, sometimes for my size, people underestimate me. I'm a lot faster than I look. I'm a lot more agile than I look.
Oh, I can believe that.
And, the biggest thing for me is when I take off running is to remember I'm playing flag football and not rugby. Oh, because my instinct is to stiff arm the hell out of you, right? Yeah. Like, and I remember our first ever game together, which was last fall. The first time I ever caught the ball, I took off running and I said, ah! And they said, flag on the play. Ma'am, you can't do that. Not flag football.
I bet you mushed that person real good, too.
I did. It was a dude, and I didn't even have to say I was a rugby player. After he's like, you play rugby, don't you?
Yeah, you do.
I said, I do. And so, every time I take off, so if I don't have it, my bad, y'all.
You about to rugby your phone.
So if I don't have it to throw it, I'm looking to run, and I caught them off guard several times. I had some rushing yards. Because they didn't expect me to run. Just looking at me, you don't expect me to take off. Yeah. Right? That's why I was so lethal in rugby because I ended up starting on the back line, which is usually the smaller girls and they're faster. And that was my freshman semester, and then we didn't have a coach. But by the spring semester, the games that really, really count, we got a coach because you have to have them by rugby rules. Right. And I remember Coach Mike, rest in peace, he's passed away since. Coach Mike came in. And he was just like, I'm going to put you on the forward line. And I think he read my face. He's like, no. It ain't because you slow. Because usually the forward line are bigger girls. Yeah. They're not as fast usually as the backs are. And they're, a little bit more heavy set most of the time. Yeah. So I was like, what you trying to say? Because I wasn't even this size I am now. I probably was a good 50 pounds lighter then. And we're talking about 2007. Yeah. Right? And so I was looking at him what do you mean? You going to put me on a forward? And he said, no. He said, you're going to be on the forward line because you are powerful. Because I had power. I was running girls over.
Yeah.
He said, but because you're on the forward line, they're going to expect you to be slow and not explosive like you are. And sure enough, that combination drove, like, I would pick that ball up and just take off. Stiff arming and spinning and diving. But yeah, that's been going on. We got a game tonight.
Hey, shout out to the game tonight.
Yeah, I'm ready to get back on it. And
you gonna mush somebody else too?
I'm gonna try not to. Every play, I be telling myself, Evelyn, don't you mush nobody in their face.
Yeah. Even though you really want to. Yeah, you really want to.
Because my instinct is to mush. Even growing up playing football with like cousins and stuff, most of my cousins my age are boys. Right. The one cousin that is, she's a year and a day older than me. Literally, her birthday is November 14th, mine 15th. But our moms are sisters, but she grew up in Florida mostly. Yeah. So I see them like maybe over the summer breaks when they would come up to South Carolina, or we would go down to Florida. Yeah. So my cousins around me were all boys. So if they're playing football and I want to play, we ain't doing no two-hand touch. No. We ain't doing no, we call time out. No, we tackling. Yeah. So I was used to that. Like, so rugby came easily. I just got to tell myself in flag football, girl, keep your hands to yourself. Yeah, keep your hands.
That's lit. That's lit.
Yeah, but that's been going on.
Yeah, that's good. I know you got something cooking. We talked about it last week. Yeah, and I wanted to talk about it because we'll get to how I've been in a minute.
I got so much. I be feeling like I be talking too much.
That's okay.
Y'all comment below if y'all think Evelyn be talking too much. Like, no, girl, let Kennedy say something.
In comments and in the social media pieces that we post, by the way, follow our Instagram because we're growing followers.
WHHW Radio 1 on Instagram.
Yes.
And what had happened was podcast on Facebook.
Yeah, she got it. You got this thing. We talked about it last week, but I wanted to keep talking about it each episode because it's very, very important. Yes. Now, if you guys know, we both are in the film industry. You're working on this special project. It's called Aggie Pride. Yeah. And shout out to Quentin Littlejohn, by the way. Writer-director. He's been liking our content, sharing it on his page as well, the director of the film. I look forward to this. You guys, go to our Instagram link bio so you can make your donations today. We're trying to get some donations up so that way we can get the funding to get this project off the ground and to get it started and get it working and getting it very, very impactful for our audiences and people out there in the world. This story is so important.
It is very important.
It's a legacy type story. And we need everybody's help with donations. And even if you can't donate right now, also just share it on your social media saying, hey, donate today, and then you can swing back to us when you're ready to make that donation. We understand things are tough. Rent is high, gas is high, groceries is high. But if you have a little extra that you're willing to give, donate today. Aggie Pride, the Seed and Spark link is in that bio of our Instagram account. Click the link, make your donations today.
Yeah. If you go to that link, it gives a great breakdown of what the project is about. It centers around the North Carolina A&T 4, who did a sit-in at a Woolworths in Greensboro, North Carolina in 1960. So you go to the website, it gives you a breakdown of what our film is. It gives you a breakdown of our budget and where money will be allotted. And the thing about Seed and Spark is you can make a pledge today. No money is deducted from your account until the end of our campaign, which is October the 27th. That's the end of it. So that's when money will be coming out of your account. But you can make that pledge today. If you can't pledge anything, go on there and still follow us and share, because we get certain incentives as creators for the amount of followers we have. Like we get discounts and stuff like that. And if you're somebody that said, look here, I don't want to do all that. I don't want to. Where can I send $5? But I don't want to, sign up or get on no stuff like that. You can always send money to our Cash App. We do have a Cash App. It is $ Aggie Pride the movie. You can send that to Cash App. Again, it's $ Aggie Pride the movie. If you say, look, I don't want to do no pledge and have to think about it coming out later. I want to just give my money right now up front and get it out the way. You can send it to our Cash App. But it's going to be a phenomenal project. I'm looking forward to it. In communication with other people who I've done projects with before, because things like props and set dressing. Even if you can't give money to help fund this, being able to supply us with different things that we can utilize and borrow and give back. And anytime anyone has let me borrow anything, they'll tell you Evelyn always brings our stuff back in great working condition and better than what she received it. I remember I've borrowed stuff from people and it's like, oh, girl, this thing cleaner than when you gave it to me. Then we gave it to you.
Yeah.
They're like, I know you had to pull out the dust. I said, and did. But here it is polished. So if you just say, hey, well, I'll donate some stuff for the set piece. Because again, it is set in the 1960s. Mm-hmm. So we will be having wardrobe and set dressing stuff to match that time period. Yeah. So, some of my theater folks and houses that I've worked with, I've been in connection with them and we'll be trying to do some collaboration there.
We love it. Yeah. We love it. Yeah. Donate today, ladies and gentlemen. Real quick, how I've been pretty good. Mm-hmm. Fitness is going good.
Oh yeah.
I bought new compression sleeves for my legs and my arms, and they've been,
Now so I know you like to wear your hoochie daddy shorts. So where these compression leggings go? Do they go to your knees all the way down to your ankle?
They're from my ankle to about right here.
Okay.
And then the shorts overlay.
Okay, I see.
To make me look more.
Because usually he had them thighs out.
I usually do, but lately...
He'd be like, eyes out, thighs out.
Used to, but now, after my workouts, it's not the type of workout I'm doing. It's just like soreness. Yeah. Because it's just typical soreness. So it's like,
it helps with blood flow, too.
That, too. Yeah. So it's like, let me try to switch it up. And my last session was pretty good when I was rocking them sleeves. So really, really nice. Dear Isaiah, still cooking. New movie, new documentary still is on the works. And special announcement, you're the first person to hear this as well. I told my mama, because my mama, I've been renewing my faith. If you guys know, I'm rocking my favorite, I call it a Jesus piece.
Let me not be a heathen around
my cross. I've been trying to be more, man of God and going to church a lot. And it inspired me to produce a gospel. So I am working on a gospel album for January of next year. So it won't be out this year because I've released so much music. I'm taking some time off.
So you got to take these people to church in January, and then in February you take them to the bedroom.
Yes, because Crown Me Savage Act 2 comes out in February. So, and I promised Dravion and our producers that album still has to come out because it's already done, right? But the gospel album, we've been working on it.
Okay.
I think it's pretty good. I only got a few songs done, but I'm like, this is gonna be a good one because I've never done a gospel album before. But we gonna do that really, really well. And production's going good. Outside of our podcast, I've been out filming for GGC, East Forsyth, my own special projects as well. We're officially a part of the Encompass Media Group part-time for Prime Video, so I can officially announce that. So a lot of filming is going on. But that's where I've been doing. That's what my latest updates have been. And let's get to the topics of conversation. I know we talked about positivity at the beginning of the show. Yes. And we'll pick it back up. But this is a story that touched both of our hearts. And I remember on Sunday when I went to church, shout out to Pastor Daniels at Change Church. He talked about this young man from Louisiana by the name of Kyron Lacey. And it touched my heart because Pastor Daniels is from Louisiana. And in part of his sermon, he was kind of in a drought because he was thinking about this young man and the developing story. For a lot of people, if you don't know, Kyron Lacey, he was a 24-year-old former LSU wide receiver who was accused of a hit-and-run accident that he, based off the video that we saw from his lawyer, he was nowhere near it. He was about, 72 feet away from where the accident occurred, but then he got accused of a hit-and-run accident. And it really touched my heart because this young man tragically died via suicide at the age of 24 because of this accusation, because of people calling him a murderer, people calling him a coward, And it really touched on my heartstrings a little bit more because this young man was 24, right? I remember when I was 24, I was in college and, living life, doing college things. And, that's a very young age to go. Right. But I do want to stress to everybody out there that words are very important. I had my fair share of people be nasty and mean to me verbally, and it really gets to you mentally, and sometimes it gets to you physically and emotionally.
Yeah.
Right? So I think Kyrie Lacey, he received so much negative words and words being so powerful. And now that he's getting stripped from LSU, a big school, mind you, a big school, especially in the line of football, to where this kid was really good. He could have been in the NFL. But we won't get to see that. We won't get to see what else that Kyrie Lacey could do outside of LSU in the NFL because he got accused of these things. Right? And Pastor Daniel said that, if Kyrie Lacey would have had just one more day before suicide, just one more day, so the lawyers could take the video footage to the judge and say, hey, this kid is innocent. I wonder if that would have changed some things.
Well, and the crash itself happened back in December of 2024. Here we are almost a year later, and the footage is just coming out.
Yeah.
And not only is the footage just coming out, the police department has known all along that this young man didn't cause this accident. The footage that we see is the car accident happens, and then some moments later, you see Kyron Lacey's green car.
Yeah.
And I think it's like a Dodge or something like that comes into frame, and he's nowhere near the accident as it happened. He came up later, right? And we kind of talked about this pre-recording is most people, if an accident just happened and you didn't directly witness it, like you coming up on it, most times, sometimes if you're moved to stop and help and see if you may do that. But if you already see people already at the scene, a lot of people would just come up on it and drive around.
Yeah.
And I talked about this when my car accident happened in December 2022. The girl that hit me, I was stopped. There's a car stopped in front of me. There was enough room in between me and the car in front of me for another car to even fit there. Mm-hmm. The girl hit me so hard with my foot on the brake all the way down to the floor. I slid all the way up and almost hit the car in front of me. The lady, I guess she saw this happening in her rearview mirror, and you could hear my brakes and my car sliding. She got out of her car and she came to my window and she said, "You all right, sweetheart?" It's an older lady. I said, "No, ma'am." She said, "Oh, well, I hope your day gets better." The light turned green. That woman got back in her car and drove off. I was like, "Well, damn."
Damn.
You could have been a witness or something.
Yeah.
Right? She was gone. So it's not far-fetched. Why did he drive off? One, he didn't cause the accident. But then we see this. I want to play this. This is from Facebook. Lawyers talking about the footage that we now see in another footage that I don't have right here specifically, but you hear the officer on scene. He's trying to coach one of the witnesses and saying, make sure you say that Kyron, like Mr. Lacey, caused the accident and all that kind of stuff. And the witness, before the officer even says it, he says, that lady caused this accident. Had already identified who caused the accident. And you see the officer trying to manipulate him and say, no, make sure you put on there in the written testimony, blah, 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 that it was Mr. Lacey. So I'm going to play what the lawyer is saying here.
Yeah, so what you'll see is in the top left of the screen, you're going to see multiple cars just making their way south to Thibodaux, coming from Vacherie. At some point in time, you're going to see the collision, which we're going to know is vehicle number 2 from oncoming traffic colliding with the vehicle of Mr. Hall. You will see another vehicle come to a stop, and then you'll see Kyron Lacey come to a stop.
So as we've seen the video, it looks like the impact happens, and then Kyron Lacey is behind him. How far away was he from there?
Well, that's the beauty of the investigative report that I now have my hands on. We know from data that Kyron Lacey did in fact pass 4 cars. There's no disputing that. Further north, Kyron Lacey passed 4 cars. However, he was back in his lane of travel, 92.3 yards. Back in his lane, behind Mr. Hall. At the time of impact, he's 72.6 yards behind the vehicles at the time of impact. Keyword, behind the vehicles. That is not how this story was ever painted. Never.
Any part of the district attorney's investigation that talked about Mr. Lacey getting back, I guess we call it, what do you call it, correcting or getting in your proper lane?
Sure, he was back in his proper lane according to their data. This isn't my expert. This is the investigation of the Lafourche Parish District Attorney's Office. So I'm here simply comparing and contrasting the District Attorney's Office with state police in this matter, their investigations. And in that investigation,
So that's what we hear going on there. And, you know, Ryan Clark said something that aligns with how I felt about this situation. It was bad enough when he took his own life, talking about Karen Lacey.
Yeah.
I thought to myself, the weight that must have been on him because he took somebody's life, whether intentionally or not.
Yeah.
Because that's what we're being told in the media. Oh,
Right.
he did this, he took some. And I'm like, oh, that must be some hard weight to swallow. This was a young man in college, you know,
Young
LSU.
man in college.
And your whole world changes. And not only change, you just change somebody else's life and world. So that's what you're thinking. And so Ryan Clark says exactly what I was
What
thinking.
had happened was
Shout out to Brian Clark.
When I thought he died under the weight of handling the guilt that he unknowingly played a part in some of their lives. It's even more tragic that I know he died as an innocent man who knew he was innocent, but was dealing with the consequences of someone guilty.
So the clip I just played was from @Gems-iView on YouTube, and they have their own music overlaying, so it's kind of hard to hear what Ryan was saying. But what he was saying is, you know, it's one thing to feel sad and by thinking that Ryan Lacey took his own life because of the guilt or the weight that he felt, that you thought he felt from taking someone's life, when in fact it was the weight of being innocent, but taking on the consequences of someone being portrayed as guilty.
Yep.
That part is just, you know, and then he goes on. Ryan Clark was on it. He's been on it.
Ryan Clark's good.
The other thing he does that I truly commend is he took a moment to give Karen Lacey a moment to be like, oh, he's innocent, and to say it in the media.
Yeah.
Because during the time of the investigation, everybody was running about the investigation. And I was telling you prior to this, I have to go back and look, but I'm pretty sure we hit on that it was being investigated. And at some point I said, you know, hopefully he is not guilty of a hit and run.
Right.
And if he did, he should be prosecuted. But that's where all the facts come out, right?
Right.
I'm pretty sure, like, my mind is telling me we've had that conversation, or either I'm just dreaming that, but I'm gonna have to go back and search, and if I can find that, we'll bring it back around on another episode. But Ryan Clark made sure to say on air live that Karen Lacey was innocent. So I'm gonna play that real quick for you.
About his career, I would expect to have said his name. So I'm gonna say his name tonight. Karen Lacey was innocent. Karen Lacey should be here with us. Nothing will ever repair or replace the pain that his parents have to feel and his loved ones have to feel. But we could say his name. There were so many stations that ran the fact that he was being investigated. So I wanted to make sure here with Scott, he could say that he was an innocent man and at least know that he has that as he rests.
So that was, you know, him talking about that, and that was on the unfiltered ASF page on YouTube that I was playing that clip from. But it's like, it's kind of like in those instances where the media is very loud about calling somebody guilty. Blah, 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 or either on a personal note, someone does you wrong. And they're very loud about it.
Right.
And how we always say the apology needs to be just as loud as what you were, you know, trying to say someone did. The accusation. The apology needs to be just as loud. So right now, media needs to be just as loud talking about how this young man was innocent. And I say this to his family.
what had happened was
I hope y'all sue that department.
Yes.
And those officers who tried to coax those admission of guilt out of those witnesses. I hope y'all sue them for everything they had. If they got a pair of holy drawers that they still holding on to from 10, 15 years ago, they only got 2 pieces of thread left.
Yeah.
Sue them for them too. It hurts my soul. And I know no amount of money
can
replace that young man's life force here.
Right. Touch on your heartstrings, don't it?
It does.
Yeah, it does for me too. Because I think, like I mentioned before, words do hurt, And I think the media, unfortunately, I feel like the media like to portray people as guilty because it sells. It sucks to say it that way, audience, but some media outlets, they love a guilty verdict. They love guiltiness because it's what's going to get them a click, right? But to see that we've still, and it's nothing new because this has been going on for years, but you have, some officers and elected officials or authoritarian officers that will manipulate and blame something on somebody that had nothing to do with it because they feel like they can.
The hard part,
and it's very hurtful.
The hard part for me is always this thought.
Yeah.
Look at all the stuff that we capture them on camera doing and that they get away with.
Yeah.
Now think about all the stuff that has never been caught on camera.
Yep.
There are still people who are getting out of prison after spending 30 and 40 years behind bars who've been proven innocent.
Mm-hmm.
30 and 40 years of someone's life?
Yeah, that's a big chunk.
Off of an accusation with no proof. Off of accusations that police have trumped up these charges and manipulated the evidence to say you're guilty.
Yep.
I always think about that. I always think about this is the stuff that we see that they're getting away with.
Mm-hmm. Physically. See it. It's right here in front of your faces, but they'll...
And now I feel like they're trying to desensitize us so much with AI that they're trying to make you question what you see.
Yeah.
Is it AI? Is that real? There's a whole Facebook group that I see on social media where people literally will put a post up.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, can y'all take these people out of the background for me? Or I don't know what this trend is lately, but there's been people putting up pictures of them and somebody else saying, hey, can you make her black and make me white? And like you go to the comments and people are able to manipulate videos and images. And I'm just like, while y'all think, oh, this is something fun, ha ha ha, this is in preparation to get you to not believe what it is you see in real time, to question it.
Yep. Every time I'm on TikTok, like, is that real? That ain't real.
And I'm just like, and Kamala Harris said it best, and I just shared this on she was at some kind of conference, and let me get to it. She was at a conference. I'm gonna have to play this, and just a word caution. It does have one little curse word in it.
What had happened was...
It's all right. We can cuss a little bit.
But Kamala had this to say.
Because there's so much about this moment that is trying to make people feel like they've lost their mind. When in fact, these motherfuckers are crazy.
I love that.
And I'm just like,
Kamala Harris cuss.
She said what we all think, like, every day feels like the Twilight Zone. It's like, y'all trying to act like we the crazy ones.
Yeah. Yep.
These motherfuckers are crazy.
They're crazy. Crazy enough.
I ain't meant to point at you. I'm talking about these motherfuckers are crazy
too, No, people crazy. People are crazy, and people are getting more bolder and bolder and bolder each given day.
Yeah.
It's scary. That's why I say you got to buck and weave. You got to take your buck and weave and get up out the way, right? Like I say, words do hurt. I do hope the Lacey family do sue. Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah.
Child.
When I tell you something, if that was me, baby, your grandkids wouldn't know what financial freedom felt like.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't feel two ways wrong about it. I'm like, baby, you should have told your ancestors not to lie.
Yeah.
I would sue your whole entire family foundation would go crumbling down. That's what I truly would feel.
And I don't understand when authoritative officials do something wrong and then they say, "Oh, he's on paid leave." So you mean to tell me he's on vacation for doing wrong? Because that's what that sounds like to me.
Like to me, I'm
paid leave.
What paid? So taxpayer money is still
still getting paid, but he can't work. Sounds like PTO and vacation time.
Well, and then this is another thing. Police officers, when they get suspended or fired from one precinct, there's no database or like trail to say, well, you can't be hired again. They can just go to another precinct. And just pick up where they left off. I'm in the medical field. Medical malpractice follows you. You know? Like, if you are a doctor or a nurse and you had a medical malpractice suit and you were at fault, if you get let go by that hospital, or if you stay on at the hospital, you can go up and look up them lawsuits. That thing follows you.
Follows you.
But these officers can commit all types of crime, get, paid leave, and then if they do get fired, I'll just go to
another job. It's
another
cool.
job. It's cool.
Might have to move a little bit.
Then by the time they actually do kill somebody or harm somebody in a real wrong way, like with Mr. Lacey, then all of a sudden y'all want to bring up, they got a record of wrongful convictions and this and that, planning everything. Oh, now all this comes into play. Where was this when y'all hired him, knowing this was the background? It's because you're trying to distance yourself because you about to get sued. Now you're trying to distance yourself to make it seem like, that officer had problems. But you still got to take some accountability. You hired them. And I'm all about redemption. But ain't no way you as an officer got this long rap sheet of you doing unjustifiable things, and you still getting hired repeatedly. Yeah. But like Kamala said, these mother are crazy.
Yes, they are.
And speaking of these crazy let's move over to South Carolina real quick. I gotta say this.
Shout out to South Carolina. We love y'all up there. Well,
sorry, my inner thoughts just slipped right on out, didn't it? That's my home state, my baby. We good for, if we needed applause, it's applause for always being on the wrong side of history. Yeah. Boy, we love that side. Child. If ever there was a line that says "do not cross," we be on the wrong side, just crossing over. But in South Carolina news, so Trump and a lot of his peeps in his cabinet, they're trying to get some of these states to turn over things like their voting rolls and all that kind of stuff to the federal government. Yeah. Well, in South Carolina, such was the case. They reached out to South Carolina Judge Diane Goldstein. Recently, her home was burning to the ground after an apparent explosion. Her husband, a former Democratic state senator, he is currently in the hospital after leaping from the house. The attack is currently being investigated as a possible arson attack, though no new details have yet been shared. Judge Goldstein recently blocked a Department of Justice request for South Carolina to turn over their voter rolls to the federal government. She was immediately attacked by the Trump administration, and in recent days, Stephen Miller has ramped up attacks on Democratic judges, accusing them of terrorism and saying they must be dismantled. In other news, these mother are crazy. That's not a coincidence. You ain't gonna sit here and tell me that she refused to turn over the voting rolls for South Carolina, and all of a sudden her house explodes. Yeah.
That sounds like somebody tried to commit arson.
Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious.
That's a coinky dink.
Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious.
See, and that sucks because it sucks because when your house get burned down like that, yeah, sure, you got the insurance, but I mean, sometimes insurance don't cover the whole thing. And she probably had a house full of memories and trinkets and everything in there.
And let me tell you something about insurance.
You can't replace that.
Even if insurance does cover it, it's the inconvenience that would take you. Man, let me tell you, because a lot of times, even with insurance, they drag their feet trying to get stuff together. And then by the time they do get it together, you like, I don't missed out on so much time, or I could have had this done and blah blah. Like right now, I'm in the process of trying to get quotes to get these trees cut down, some in the backyard.
Yeah.
Because I've been in my house since 2016, and although I got house insurance, last year with Hurricane Helene, boy, the way them trees were swinging, I went on my deck. I said, "Please, Mr. Tree, stay. Please, Mr. Tree, don't fall." Because when I first moved into the house. When I first moved into the house, if the trees there's 4 that's inside of my gate, but they're all the way at the back. They were tall, but tall enough so if they fell forward, they may or may not have hit my deck. There was that right there. But they've gotten so much taller. Right. They will take out my deck. I got a kitchen nook that kind of protrudes into the deck. Ooh. And then some of my house, that would fall. And so I'm like, I got house insurance, but if those trees fall, the inconvenience of waiting on them to fix the hole in my house. Meanwhile, it may take them 2 months because they drag their feet. All kind of critters are now open to my house. Yes. I'm talking squirrels and raccoons and bugs and spiders and snakes and rats. And then once they finally do close it up, I don't know what they closed up inside the house because critters have a way of finding spaces. Yeah, they'll find it. Imagine going in your closet and a mouse just hops out of your shoe. Like, what the?
Yeah, be like, what?
So now you got to spend more money to get pest control to come in and find out where all of them are.
And pest control, they'll overcharge you too. Something because everybody trying to make some money right now.
So it's like insurance is good to have, but it's the inconvenience of it all. Yeah. Even when I had the water leak upstairs in my house and it trickled down to my master bedroom, they had to like dry all the wood out. And I had to pick out new vinyl and all that kind of stuff, which was great. But it took a good like 3 or 4 weeks for them to even get started on the project. Like, they had already come out and did assessment, but somebody dropped the ball with insurance, so I'm calling. I can't get in touch with the adjuster. I had to end up calling the adjuster's supervisor. I don't even know how I got to this, man. I said, I need to find who he worked for. Who is his boss? And I finally got somebody, and I said, "Sir, I'm about to say some things, but I'm going to go ahead and preface with, I'm not mad at you, because it's not your fault. But I need to tell you how pissed off I am."
Yep. Sometimes you got to be a little Karen just to get what you need.
He said, "Ma'am, we gonna get right on it." And that man ain't lied. Within a week and a half, there's a company coming out ready to start, building stuff back up. Yeah. But I was in a hotel for like 3 weeks. And although my insurance covering is nothing like being in your own home. Like, so.
You got a nice house too. Not that I've been like that sounded kind of creepy. I'm sorry, y'all.
Look, have you been tapping into my cameras? What you?
I saw this story of like the fire truck that was in your neighborhood, and you was like, "Hey, what's going on out here?"
Oh, when I be in my house, because that's one of the things they talk about with safety. A lot of people when they're going live or doing content creating, y'all don't be realizing the amount of personal info y'all have in the background. Yeah. So like you will never, even when I'm in my house, you will never see me with like my address in the background or with this and that, blah blah blah. Like,
people pull up.
But you might see, my living room or something like that. But that living room could look generic. You don't know where that living room at.
Yeah, it could be anywhere. It could be right here in Atlanta. Or in New York. You don't know.
Like I could be recording right now. We in Indiana. So
it could be.
Yeah. But you get a little glimpse.
Yeah,
but,
that's funny.
Let's go on to our
next topic I wanted to talk about because this was the conversation. When you go to the barbershop and you have barbershop talk, those are the amazing things to have. I love it. Diddy, they got him. Did they really though? Did they? Because Diddy is sitting. This is how the media did. They said he is sentenced to 50-month prison sentence. Why you can't just say 4 years? You have to say 50 months to make it seem like that's a long time. That's how media get us. So Diddy is sentenced to 50 months in prison because of his latest allegations. I just want to say, after all the evidence, all the things that we've seen, Diddy, some people would say Diddy should deserve more time for what he's done, and some things I could agree with. I honestly got to think, this is the conversation we had at the barbershop, I do think money does talk. I think Diddy may not serve that full 4 years. I think maybe 2.5, 3 on good behavior, because he also has to pay a $500,000 fine, right? So it's kind of like, to me, based off what I've seen, it's almost like a slap on the wrist, right? Because it's 4 years. That's easy. You could do that. Now, could I do that, me personally, y'all? No, because I'm scared of prison. No, But 4 years, maybe less than that on good behavior, and he has to pay the $500,000 fine. I'm sure if he was able to cough up more money, it might even be lower, right? Because that's the saying, money does talk to celebrities, right? And it makes me question the morale of our system because, like I say, I never like to see anybody go to prison, honestly. But like if you had a standard black male that has the same charges as Diddy, but that same standard male is not a superstar like Diddy, right? Will he also serve that 4 years? Or will he be serving 10 to 20 to 30 years? Right? That's the dynamic change that's different, y'all. Because again, Diddy, 4 years for all the things he did. Oh, he'll get that done easy.
Well, let's clarify. He's not going to serve the full 4 years because he already got time served anyway. I'm going to read this from Facebook. Tracy Fant, who's in upstate where I live, she's an activist and community organizer and things like that. She went back and did a summary. She says, Sean Diddy Combs was arrested Friday to 4 years and 2 months in prison in case involving sex workers, violence, and freak-offs. The judge said a lengthy sentence was needed for deterrence and that he was unconvinced that if Combs is released, these crimes won't happen again. Combs, 55, was convicted in July of flying people across state lines for drug-fueled marathon sexual encounters. Jurors acquitted him of racketeering conspiracy and sex trafficking charges that could have carried a life sentence. He said the sentence proposed by the government, 135 months, was more than what's necessary, and the defense proposal of 14 months would be insufficient. He also said that the prosecution recommendation didn't factor in mitigating factors, while the defense recommendation didn't factor in aggravating factors. Since Combs has served a year in prison already, this sentence means he would be released in about 3 years. So... And they didn't say they were holding him without parole or anything like that, or, whether he can appeal, so who knows. Of course, people had all their opinions to say in the comments, as, and someone, there's a guy, Richard Williams, said the same thing you said, money talks.
That's the way I see it.
So...
It sucks because this is the system we have, y'all. Again, a standard male... who got accused of these things and not a celebrity, you might be looking at 20, 30 years. And
there's plenty of people saying the same thing, not enough time. Someone says 4 years, and R. Kelly is sitting in prison for how long?
Yeah, that too. Because R. Kelly been in there for a minute now.
Some people say, you people got to be crazy. These were adults. Do what they wanted to do. It's no one's business, but that's certainly not a crime.
Yeah.
Someone said, so he got a crime for being nasty? And then, of course, the very first one I saw, someone says Trump needs to be in jail. And I agree. Him and all the other people. There was a federal judge, not federal, but the judge who presided over the Dylan Roof case.
Yeah.
Who, Dylan Roof, if you remember, was the white young man, I specify white young man, who went into a Charleston church and shot and killed 9 church members who were black. And is currently sitting in prison. I think he got the death penalty, so he's on death row. But the judge presiding over that case was recently found to have all kind of pornographic and child stuff, and that he paid to have certain images and things sent to him and all that kind of stuff. That judge, a judge who previously was reprimanded for using a racial slur during court.
Yeah.
So, what have we learned? Look, what have we learned? These are crazy.
That might be the title of the podcast too. Maybe not.
In my Kamala voice. Yes. In my Kamala voice. These crazy.
Yes, they are. Like I say, man, hey, Diddy, that's what that says. Slap on the wrist. Don't do it again. The way I see it.
It's going to be interesting once he gets out.
Yeah.
To see whether people, his former people that partied with him and all, whether people will distance themselves or jump back on the Diddy train.
Yeah.
Because, of course, with all this going on, and especially when he was up on those racketeering charges, everybody distanced himself. You know?
Yeah.
And one thing I don't like, though, is people bringing up old footage all of a sudden.
Yeah.
And anybody who's ever gone to a Diddy party, y'all trying to demonize them. Like, as if you haven't been to a party in your lifetime where y'all were having fun. You may have left and other stuff happened that you were not present for.
Yeah.
Like, does that make you a deviant too? Because you went to a party and you did that. You partied, then you went home. But there's some people that went there to party and then they had extracurricular activities after the initial party. That's why they always literally say, "Oh, this is the after party."
After party.
So I hate when people do that. They're trying to like drag other celebrities. Say, "Oh, you was at a Diddy party and you ain't never been to no party, and then you got the hell on after you came to party." But people stay behind to do the after party. Like you can't lump everybody into one category because they was at a Diddy party. Because that's not act like...
Especially if you're at a Diddy party, a lot of celebrities... It's a networking thing, too, if you think about it that way.
And
like
that's what I was about to say. Like, the Diddy party has gotten this negative connotation because of Diddy's name being attached to. Yeah. But those parties ain't no difference when you go into network at galas or premieres or networking events. So what happens if somebody who's the person that's throwing all those events that you go to, they get brought up on charges?
Yep.
Are you now considered to be a part of their little inner group that was doing nefarious things behind the scenes? You know? So I don't like when people do that. You try to make it seem like everybody who was at one of his parties is some deviant, some sexual deviant, or is pedophiles or stuff like that. I don't like that. Yeah.
But, hey, these crazy. Now, one last topic before we wrap. What had happened was we got to send our shout outs. Hopefully we meet him one day. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, ladies and gentlemen. Starring in a new movie, The Smashing Machine, the biopic for the MMA fighter Mark Carr. And the movie didn't do so hot out the gate. You know, they budgeted for $50 million. Could you imagine?
Okay,
50 million? A big 50 for a movie?
Well,
but,
I can imagine it for The Rock because they're used to him being a box office star.
Yes,
you know,
that's true.
And this one was like,
This one did. Box office was $6 million, so you know you lost some money. If you invested 50 and you only made 6, yeah, you lost some money.
And it's still pretty new, right?
It's still pretty new, and this is the trending topic that everybody's talking about. I think it has a way to shine with more millions as more weekends come. I don't think that should be a deterrent. Because The Rock lost, The Rock gained a lot of, Dwayne Johnson. I'm going to call him The Rock, guys, because I know him from The Rock first. But Dwayne Johnson got big and big and big for this role. I see a lot of his workout videos because I get inspired. And he's literally killing himself trying to lift and get the gains that he was working with. I thought he was doing that for a ring return, but that was in case he was working on the Smash Machine. And then after that, he lost tremendous weight. He looks a little bit more slimmer. We saw on a lot of other shows and a lot of media that, The Rock looks unsurprisingly skinny. What's wrong with him?
Yeah.
I do say he said that he had, based off videos, he said that he was having some heart problems because he was just so big, so he had to, trim it down a little bit. That does happen.
And I haven't seen the movie itself.
Yeah.
But I also don't know if he had to lose a lot of that weight that he put on for like the beginning of the film to display a different body type near the end, because in the storyline it says Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. He portrays that you said MMA UFC champion Mark Kerr, aka Smash Machine, based off of true events surrounding Kerr's life and rise through the MMA world, which was unfortunately derailed by his opioid addiction. Yeah. So it makes me wonder, did he lose weight just for like personal reasons in general, or also did in the end of the film you see him kind of deteriorate some from this addiction? Right. But I haven't seen it. But prior to us getting on here, I kind of told you, when you're making certain biopics, it's important to really have an understanding of who your audience is going to be. That's true. Because, unless you are a huge UFC MMA fighter, you may not flock to the theater to see this right away. Yeah. Like me, I watch UFC MMA, fights, but it's not at the top of my list. And to be honest, even though I like some of, The Rock's movies, a lot of his stuff just seemed the same to me.
Really?
Like, he's a big buff. We know he's a big buff dude. Yeah. He about to come through and F some stuff up.
Yeah.
He about to be in the lead role, the military officer type. Like, it doesn't show a whole lot of range when I see his movies, right?
That's good observation.
So, but they're saying that this one does show a different dramatic side of his acting. So for me, the actress in me and the person that works in production, I would want to see it for that.
Right.
Or if like I'm caught up on all my shows, or I've seen all the movies I want to see, and I ain't got nothing else to watch, I'm like, let me go see what this movie about. Because they've been talking about. Yeah. But it's not going to be at the top of my list.
Yeah. Or you can wait 3 months until it hits a streaming service. Yeah. Because that's how movies are nowadays. Like because 3 months later, it's on Disney Plus or something.
Because again, and you talked about it. You said financially. Yeah. People just, the movie expensive.
Yeah, AMC, it's about $30-something now to go.
I went to see him with Marlon Wayans probably about a good 3 weeks ago now. And I went to see it in IMAX. And by the time I paid for my ticket, I got me a large popcorn and a large drink. $48 just for me.
I would never.
Just for me. And
I probably would if it was super.
And I spend it because I don't spend money like that often, right?
Right.
And so I was like, you know what? I deserve to treat myself. And I was in this big IMAX theater, and it was huge screen. It was only about 8 people. There was 9 people in there because it was 4 couples. Yeah. And then me.
Yeah. I think last week you talked about the gentleman that was in.
Right? Faces dropped. You know, I was like, damn, he got somebody. Back to the drawing board. It's like recently I was celebrating a friend's birthday, and there was a woman that came inside the house that I've never seen before at her house. Oh. And this woman is beautiful, and I was like, oh, suck it now.
I like that.
I was gonna shoot that. He was gonna shoot that shot later on. Right? She came in, and there was this dude, maybe a few feet behind her. He was coming in with her. Yeah. And at the time, I told myself, I was like, maybe they just showed up at the same time. They ain't together. Because I didn't see like them pull up in their cars or anything. So I've just seen them walking up to the door. So I'm like, maybe they just, And I'm just thinking about, oh, she is absolutely gorgeous. And then probably about 5-10 minutes of them being there, everybody making their introduction. Again, I've never seen her, never seen him before at my homegirl's house. And she's like, hey, y'all. She's, oh, I've heard so much about you. And I'm like, you did? You did. Like, I'm in my mind, because I already knew I was going to shoot my shot later. I was going to let her get comfortable. And she's like, I heard somebody say, oh, I hope it was good things. She's like, oh, it absolutely was. And she was like, and this is my husband. And I was like,
don't you hate
I was
that?
like, oh, nice to meet you. And
my husband, this is my boyfriend.
And immediately in my mind, I would go, I said, damn. Back to the drawing board. And I remember my homegirl was she went in the back room because she had to go brush her teeth. This is her house. And I said, girl, I just knew I about to shoot my shot. And she said, and I said, damn.
You thought you were going to shoot your shot.
Unlike some people hear that somebody got somebody and they take it as a challenge. Like, oh, I'm still going to wiggle my... No. Once you say you got a boyfriend, girlfriend, you with somebody, there's like a switch in my mind. Because I don't do that. I don't play in people's relationships. No. It's one thing... If y'all got some open thing and y'all talk to me and y'all like, and I find both of y'all attractive, which I haven't yet to find. Yeah, it's always one and not possible. But like I just, But I was like, nope. Once you tell me you got somebody and y'all together, I'm like, well, let me go ahead and back off. I become just friendly E. Friendly E. I get off the prowl.
Friendly E. Shout out to The Rock. Do you think this movie's Oscar worthy?
I don't know. I haven't seen it yet. I haven't seen it yet.
Maybe if we see it, we'll come back and ask that question. Yeah. I think it could be because of The Rock's transformation.
Yeah. The prosthetics that they put on his face and everything to make him look like, the guy that he's portraying. Like, I definitely, want to go watch it now so I can come back. I don't want to pull one of you. Every time we come out, I was like, have you seen it yet?
Yeah, it'd be like, nope, haven't seen it.
It took you forever to watch Sinners.
I was like, it came on streaming. HBO. I'm like, oh, it's on here. Let me watch it.
Like, I want to talk so bad about it, but I don't want to give away nothing.
It's such a good movie. Good movies all around. Shout out to The Rock. Yeah. Shout out to The Smashing Machine. Yeah. We love it. Well, I guess that's going to wrap up our podcast here today.
I know.
That was a good one. Very informative. I know it got sad at the beginning, but, we picked it up towards the end there.
Yeah, and sometimes news is what it is.
It is what it is.
Facts, I choose that over fiction. And again, wish the best for Kyron Lacey's family and that they get the justice that they so rightly deserve. Yep. Yeah. Yep. But on that note, it's been another episode of...
What had happened was...
And we about to take y'all on out of here, Go ahead and get your little bounce on. Just Bounce, 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 bounce.
What had happened was,
I'm one of your hosts, the illustrious EVE Evan Letitia. And my homeboy sitting to my left, Mr. Kennedy Lucas Patterson, aka K.L.P. And you have been tuned into the podcast.
what had happened was,
Where you get all kind of commentary on
All
current
kinds of
events that's going on.
what had happened was,
Make sure y'all tune in next time.
Yes.
So y'all can get y'all life to help us get our life so we get our life together.
Yeah. Hey.
Deuces.
what had happened was,
Made it